We're just down 4 levels. We can do this, right? Okay. The whelps are holding their own. It's a little close, but we got them. Nice. Okay, finally, an opening. We're gonna dive this tower here. We're gonna take the tower. Okay, we're stabilizing. Everything's coming up Millhouse. We got this. They're unending, dude. This is ridiculous, man. I can't do it. We gotta go back to the drawing board. 4 levels is a little ambitious. Welcome back, my friends. We've cooked up something special to help carry you through Gnomeregan Stage 2 and beyond. So we have Maiev Shadow Song here. Remorseless is my preferred talent, just a little extra damage, but Enveloping Shadows would do just fine as well. We're mostly using her to clear out enemy griffins. Goblin Sapper is mandatory with the rocket-powered turbo boots. You must have this talent. It works 5, 6, maybe even 7 levels down, but you have to have that talent to clear out the towers in Stage 2. Quillbore is unbound, synergizes well with Maiev. We take Bristleback. We have Stormwind Commendation Relic in Stage 1, which spawns a Footman for free anytime you play an Alliance unit. Defiance Bandits are perfect for that because they're a cheap Alliance unit. Same for Griffin Rider here. Now, you're going to want your Griffin Rider to be within 2 levels of the dungeon. I prefer Mighty Throw to allow it to duel other Griffin Riders and do a lot of damage to the boss. Same for Safe Pilot within 2 levels, coming in hot as a preferred talent to apply burn to towers to prevent them from repairing and to deal with the Leper Gnomes. Leper Gnomes will knock your Safe Pilot out of stealth with their poison, and it'll allow you to contest the chests in the middle in Stage 2. Whelp Eggs, Flame Burst, you want these within 2 levels of the dungeon as well. Great for dealing with waves and doing damage to the boss. So we noticed in our run that we have Stormwind Commendation offered in the first stage. So we're going to tailor our deck to that. And that's why we have 4 Alliance units in our deck, including the leader. And that gives us a really nice way to pump out these Footmen. And Footmen are arguably one of the tankiest units in the game. And because of that, we can use that to our advantage. They have 1600 health against physical damage dealers. Gnomeregan has a lot of physical damage, minus a few gimmicks like the poison and being knocked into the abyss, which just insta-kills you, apparently. And Stage 1 is kind of annoying to deal with, but really it's just about keeping the safety belts from sitting or idling for too long on the sides. Because if they're idle for too long, it causes a Safe Pilot to come down and claim them. So you want to try and use your own bounds to take those. Now, note here, Maiev will actually kill Griffin Rider within 5 levels, I believe. So you can be down 5 levels and use her to kill the Griffin Rider, and I think that's a really nice use of her because we only have a couple things that can shoot up in this deck anyway. So because of that, I like to use a Safe Pilot, and I like to use Maiev to deal with the Griffin Riders, or I like to use my own Griffin Rider with a tank in front of it, just to make sure that the Griffin Rider goes down. So this is the start of our first push here. We want to basically get pushes going on the left and the bottom of the boss here. And the best way to do that is to take the Meeting Stone, but you don't really need to rush taking the Meeting Stone. You need to more focus on making sure the left belt is always taken, especially if like chickens are coming and it's about to respawn, because it's very difficult to deal with those chickens if they get the belt, and you can lose a lot of value that way. So for that reason, number 1 priority is to take the left belt. The right belt isn't as important. And then finally, once you've stabilized and started to push the opponent back, it's really easy with the Stormwind Commendation. You can start doing a push from the top and from the right side here from the Meeting Stone. And that can push, and basically it pulls the boss in 2 different directions, so he's not AoEing your units, particularly if they're ranged. And that's why I like the Mighty Throw talent on the Griffin, because it allows the Griffin to outrange the boss. So you see here, we're in a pretty good spot now that we've finally stabilized and pushed forward. We are taking this chest for an additional 4 gold. That's why I like the Picklock talent on the Defias. And I am going to try and set up my first push into this boss here while I deny gold. And we're not really in any rush. It's just more about slowly removing units. Sometimes you can get clears on this really quick, and other times it just takes forever because the boss, spawns all the wrong things, and you get a little overzealous like me and you use your Safe Pilot on nothing when you could have used it on those chickens there. So there is an optimal tempo to this, but sometimes it doesn't go exactly right. Those sappers actually do quite a bit of damage to this boss as well, and so if you can sneak those in and there's a good window where there's not a lot of enemies like Griffin Riders to snipe them, that can make this go a little bit faster too. Gnomish Flywheel is absolutely the pick here, but we're going to go with Bloodshot Greaves to show you what a normal run is like. So I think I make a bit of a misplay in the opener here. I should have used the Sappers immediately on that left tower or the right, but we use our Whelp Eggs to clear those Spiderlings. It happens to make the chest vulnerable. I think it is a mistake to overcommit for this chest, but it's okay. So we do some damage to the tower here on the left, and we use our Safe Pilot to apply burn to the tower and also do extra damage to those units. Very important. You want to try and hit Troll, Griffin, Spiderlings, and the tower, or you could maybe go for the Mountaineer just to try and get rid of that extra damage that it has. And so I use my Whelp Eggs here to remove the Mountaineer and then finish the tower off because it had the burn. It was unable to heal. And that's a really nice little synergy you can take advantage of here when you're underleveled. I'm going to use Maiev to deal with the troll. Remorseless is going to help me clean up this bear, and she's going to go challenge the chest in the middle. And I'm going to challenge the tower on the right with my sappers. And then as I was talking about before, I use my Safe Pilot to burn the tower so it doesn't heal, and it finishes off a troll and a leper gnome. And that's a really nice value that you're getting there. We just don't want the tower to heal too quickly here, so it's a lot easier to finish it off later. And that's really why I like the coming in hot talent for this level, because poison will knock your Safe Pilot out of stealth. The lepers will automatically apply poison, so it's really hard to get value from the cloaking device, and also the vents will knock her out of stealth as well. But the coming in hot is guaranteed value, and it can help you keep those towers lower longer. So people are really sleeping on Safe, even though that she got nerfed. You know, they're thinking like, oh, she's not that good. I think she's still pretty decent on this map, as long as she's a decent level. And I think she works up to -3 levels on this map. So we are now starting to get a foothold here. I'm using my sappers and my Whelp Eggs on the left just to ensure that I have my tower lead. It is wasteful, and you'll see that I pay for it in that I have to take the tower again. So you do want to try and use your removals wisely by splashing minis and objectives. And this is an example of splashing right here, where we use our Safe to damage the Griffin and damage the boss as well. But now we have to pay the piper. Our earlier gold spend was inefficient. As a result, we're going to have to use sappers to retake this tower because I let it go by mistake. So this is an unfortunate reality. We're going to have to use our Whelp Eggs here. And I just noticed I could use the Quill Boar to turn the boss here, and I could have protected my Griffin Rider and got a little extra damage on the boss. But we're going to use our Whelp Eggs to finish off that Mountaineer right next to the tower. Unfortunately, it wasn't close enough to kill the tower. If you're a little bit faster, that is an ideal scenario. And we're just trying to slowly choke the boss out of this game here, because it's very difficult to claw your way back into the game if you lose your towers. It's more important to just maintain your gold advantage and to slowly choke the boss out of the map. I do use gold a little wastefully here, but it's because I'm capitalizing on the advantage I got earlier when I used Safe Pilot to remove the units next to the tower and take the tower, and now again to use it to remove these minis and do damage to the boss. So I again lose the tower, but it's okay because we have sappers to do damage to it, and we have Griffin to challenge these units on the left that cannot shoot up. So we're not super worried about losing the tower on the left, but we do want to make sure that it does not fall completely, because once you start losing towers, it is very difficult to get them back, has been my experience on this level. And we're just slowly trying to do damage to the boss, and we're spinning it in different directions. You'll note that the boss has a very long turn time, and the amount of time it takes for it to turn to face a new unit gives you a lot of time to just do a little extra damage. So we just keep spawning her on bounds to take advantage of that. Now here's what it's like using Gnomish Flywheel to clear this boss. A large amount of the difficulty from this boss is just from how gold starved you are. And I just want to point out how many mistakes I make in this particular run and how easy it is to win anyway. So I spawn these Defias Bandits in the middle, which are just utterly useless, particularly because I use the Quill Boar. I lose the Quill Boar for free. It does absolutely nothing in the middle there. And we go ahead and do some damage to the right tower with our sappers. And we've saved 3 gold at this point from doing all that. And we have made a few errors in our cycling with the Gnomish Flywheel because Defias Bandits don't benefit from it. But you'll notice that I'm getting a lot more of these Stormwind Knights out, and they're going to make short work of a lot of these units as I slowly push down the tower on the right. And now I'm going to just take the tower on the left pretty easily here because I'm just able to cycle. And just look how much gold I have. Like, I'm almost never low on gold here, and this puts me in a lot better position to challenge this chest in the middle. And now I'm able to focus a lot more on how I'm going to take this tower on the left. I mean, I'm just squandering these well pegs. I'm not even using them particularly to gain good value against like a troll or a mountaineer or what have you. And that is the power of this gnomish flywheel. It just saves you so much gold. I'm still full gold here. I'm able to cleanly answer the units that the opponent has. This is probably one of the first good trades I make, where I use Maiev to snipe the mountaineer while it's focused on my tower, and then Maiev cleans up the bear afterwards. And again, I'm making bad trades here where I just, spawn in the whelp eggs to do some damage to the boss and not really kill any units. You're really supposed to use these unbound units to secure extra value by doing damage to the boss. Now, I am spinning the boss around to get a little bit extra damage, but I'm just so far ahead here because of the gnomish flywheel and the fact that I have unfettered access to the chest. I'm not worried about losing the chest and the gold mines constantly to the boss. And I think just a simple change, like moving the chest forward and closer to your base, would make this dungeon feel a lot more forgiving and a lot more fair. And I think they should probably also look at, adjusting the difficulty of the third stage as a result of that. And I think I would enjoy this dungeon a lot more just if it felt a little bit more fair. And I just want to show that this was my second run with the gnomish flywheel. I just wanted to show how easy it is. It took a little bit longer, but I mean, look at my base HP. Never at threat, never at risk of losing here. This is so much more comfortable, and it's all about the dynamics of the gold that you have. And I think just a simple change of like moving the chest slightly forward would make it feel just that much more forgiving, that much more doable. So hopefully they look at doing that. I take Vanishing Powder here because I think that with this deck, Maiev benefits pretty heavily from the Vanishing Powder. And basically, just having all these little glass cannon units like Safe Pilot and what have you, and having them be able to re-stealth is really nice. So for that reason, I think it's the best talent here. Now, this is a pretty easy stage, and I think that they probably should look at making it a little bit more challenging, but not too challenging, because I really like the feel of the stage. I just think that, it's missing something, just something very subtle to make it a little bit more challenging, And I would prefer that it's not something, stupid where, like, let's say what is this guy's name? Mekgineer. Something stupid would be him just auto-sniping the light bulbs on his side, because he already almost does that. I think, like maybe adding like another mechanic, like a King of the Hill timer, something interesting that you have to actually deal with and adds a little bit more of a dynamic to this one would be really cool to see. I don't know what it could possibly be. Maybe moving the gold mine to his side. Actually, I don't know if I want to see that. But, I do like this one because it is kind of a victory lap of sorts. And I do like the feel of it. It's nice and relaxing. And, there's no risk of losing at this point. So maybe that is an argument for why the second one has to be as hard as it is. I mean, do you guys think that number 3 is missing something? I mean, basically, the strategy for this one is just spawn something on the right, spawn something on the left, spawn something on the right, spawn something on the left. Or if your deck supports it, this is normally my play style, I'll just play really hard on one side, and the AI will generally match my play, and then they'll just spawn everything on that one side, and then I only have to use like one unit to secure the other side. And usually it'll just keep matching whatever you play on the one side. Because we have the Stormwind commendation, obviously it doesn't work that way. We don't want to grind up too high here, so we're going to end the run there and call it good. Thank you all for watching. Please, if you like the video, leave a thumbs up, comment, subscribe. It really helps me. It helps me make future content for you all. I will catch you on the flip side. Thank you all so much for watching. Take it easy. Bye-bye.